れた光の雨、瞳に映ったこの世界を守るため立ち向かう、それは心の野生が隅でまた霞み始めてる。きつい揺らぎそうでも閉ざされた空、その鍵を壊せばそう握られた刃はまだ持て余されて加速する共鳴が言霊を脈打たせてく。注がれた光の雨、瞳に映ったこの世界を守るため、気づい 続けろ憎しみや恨みを生んでしまうのかもしれない正解のない世界に苦しんでそれでも受け止め我らは叫ばなければいけないと心がうついて思い描いた自由への衝撃僕のエゴであろう君の願いであろうそれがダメなこともあれと悔いやくなれることもいつの日かできな信じたのは一輪の花触れてくれてその時にあがいてもがいてまみれもよりながらも永遠の中にわずか輝くそれをその手に掴み取り勝ち取るためにはまた立ち上がる思い描いた自由への勝利的な僕の血肉となり君の魂となりそれを固めることはあれと悔いやくなれることもいつの日かできな熱さ探せが大輪の花永遠の中で掴んだリだよ
We get to enter the very specific realm of play to earn. Obviously, we're here with Bayfar from Forest Night. I appreciate you guys, staying tuned with us. We have some technical issues here today. My computer is kind of wigging out on us, so thank you for letting us know that the mic was off. Today is awesome because, as always, we do red envelopes. So we start with some goodies for the community because we like to give stuff away, and then obviously towards the end we're going to do some community questions for Bayfar, and they have so kindly provided us with some community-oriented rewards for those questions selected. So thank you for offering that, Bayfar, and excited to have you, man, because today play to earn's hot. Forest Night is kind of like the first time we've entered. ChainBoost has entered a campaign of mobile-esque play to earn, so it's really exciting because you guys are kind of the first through our platform here.
Oh, thanks. First of all, hello guys, and thanks for having me, Ben. I really appreciate to be here. I'm super excited to our talk.
Yeah, dude. So like our community is like obviously ChainGuardians is predicated on this concept of free to play, play to earn, and it's very synergistic. Obviously, having you guys through the ChainBoost platform. I think it would be remiss of all of us to maybe not so much at least address what's going on in the market today. Obviously, not financial advice to any degree, but the cool thing that we're seeing here, at least right now, is that Bayfar, the thing that I can talk about is, when, even though this isn't financial advice per se, the important thing is that you look at teams that are focused on building during these large scale dips, and it's like that's the real indicator of people can do TA, people can do all this other type of like market trend analysis. And, the not financial advice, just advice in general, is look at projects that are focused on building during times of, grim light per se. And that's just a real indicator in terms of quality projects that are really trying to get things done, not time things. And you guys, I mean, I'm in the chats with you pretty frequently on a couple different chats, Bayfar, and I can definitely attest that you guys are very hardworking, and it impresses me because obviously our community knows that ChainGuardians team, ChainBoost team works very hard, and it's always great to see teams that work in parallel in terms of work ethic with us. So very excited to have you guys here today.
Oh, thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Thanks for your kind words. Indeed, like as you said, like once a clever person said to me, in a booming market, everybody's winning. So you kind of
Yep.
kind of need to pick, of course, not financial advice, but kind of pick the projects you see, okay, are they building also when the market is not very cool? Or because then you kind of know, okay, this is a team that's passionate about the product they're building. Yeah, it was. I mean, we are on early access for a longer time. We've been building from 2018 already, I think that's like makes we get a lot of comment around that area, like, hey, super cool that you're guys building from 2018, and just like you just not announced because the narrative is going around that direction. And I think we are very it's really appreciated to hear these words. And I think it is also because we, like everybody in the team, are like gamers and really love the product and try the best to get the product where it should be. And also, it's a big thank you to our own community. Like, we have a great early community that helped the whole team with various stuff. So we iterated the updates a lot with them. They gave us feedback, and the base thing what I was focusing on, I was like really trying to do is, and what is like maybe a biggest problem, but from a maybe gaming studios or gaming products, is to build the game that the developers want to play, and not the game that the players want to play. Because at the end, it's not me that I'm gonna play it, because I don't have the time of it. It's the players who are gonna play it. So working very closely with the community really helped us learn more about what the players want, and that's also our narrative and our focus going to be in the next years coming, that we work really closely with the community to ensure that the Forest Night is a ecosystem, is a world for everybody.
Dude, that's so critical. I don't think people recognize one of the competencies to blockchain in general is this close-knit community. Like, you look at the corporate world, you look at, trying to give feedback to Riot Games, Blizzard, etc. Good luck getting past the yellow red tape forms. Sometimes, maybe-ish, if you're lucky in a blue moon, win the lottery, someone in the dev team will scroll past and suggest that in a meeting maybe something will happen. But Telegram, Discord, Twitter has really unlocked this really cohesive bond with the community that bridges the community to the project, and acts as a really amazing infusion of feedback, right? And now it's up to the projects to determine what feedback to focus on, to implement, to iterate off of. But I mean, that's huge. There are a few indicators that are honestly should be strong predicators in terms of being indicative of success of a project. It's social listening, which is listening to your community, focusing on your community, building up from your community feedback, because as you said, you're not going to have time to play the game. It definitely helps to have your developers play the game, because if your developers play the game, it makes quality assurance really easy. Bugs likely won't make its way through through builds and stuff, right? Chances are they've played similar scenarios multiple different ways because they enjoy what they're doing. They enjoy the stress testing, and it makes it easy as you roll it out.
Yeah, but the thing is, even all the developers play. Comparison to the million of players who plays the game is just nothing. Like, you cannot see what you see, what the other people are going to see.
Yep. And that's why it's so important to have that community base. So before we get too into it, man, because we have a lot to talk about. I can tell you and I are going to have a good time today, bud. Let's talk about you. What's your experience in blockchain? How'd you get here, right? Bayfar, the individual, being founder of Forest Night. What led you down this path to how the position that you're in today?
Well, that's a good question, actually. So, when we go back, so I'm coming from movie industry, actually, so nothing with blockchain or tech. I was always a tech enthusiast. I would call myself or people call myself a nerdy, sporty guy. So I was worked as a stuntman for various movie projects, and I had my knee injury, so I kind of had to pivot my my career to somewhere else. I had a recovery time of 1.5 years. And during that time, I had my laptop and I started watching some tutorials, learning more about game development, because I was a gamer from the heart. So played a lot of League of Legends. That made me the man I am now, because I lived through that era, I have to say.
Hey, that could be a challenge of itself, man. My gosh, the amount of life lessons you can extract from League of Legends, and being down 50 CS at 10 minutes, it resonates with me. So I hear you.
Yeah, it's definitely it was definitely mentally a challenge. In my biography, I'm gonna say like, hey, I lived through League of Legends gold and platinum. So that's going to be the header of my biography. But yeah, League of Legends, World of Warcraft, also mobile games like Clash of Clans, Clash Royale. Also when they came out, it was a very good game. And I was like, hey, how can I combine, now that I don't have the stunt thing, how can I combine my passions, so tech and the gaming side? So I learned through my computer science degree more about blockchain, and it was around 2017, end of 2017, where I went like, hey, what are these blockchain games we're talking about? So I looked into it. There were CryptoKitties was there. I think Axie just announced, and I saw that the companies or the products are more focused on the blockchain part of it and not the gaming part of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it makes sense back then. I mean, blockchain was just new, right? It was super cool stuff to do. It was also limited. I mean, the L2 solutions we have right now was not there, of course, right? But still, I realized they are not focusing really on the gaming aspect. And me as a gamer, on core, really thought, okay, I truly believe that for a blockchain game to be successful, it has to make sense as a gaming perspective. It has to be a gaming product first before let's say a tech product or a tech blockchain product.
Right.
So that was how I thought, hey, let's start Forest 9. I kind of started coding Forest 9, learning the game development part of it, going to a lot of exhibitions, learn more about gaming industry as a whole, not blockchain industry, but more also gaming industry. And also from the blockchain side of it, in Berlin, I met Ilya from Engine. We get into the discussion. We kind of talk about it. Very cool guys over there. That's how we became like early adopter for Engine, and that's how the journey to the blockchain gaming aspect started actually.
Dude, I think that's huge. It's interesting to bring up Engine because they obviously are a very good group of guys as well. But it's you nail a point. When you look at the segment, and this is just within the purview of ChainGuardians, when you look at the blockchain gaming segment, you have to be able to exactly for days like today, right, where the blockchain aspect maybe isn't super hot because we saw this random flash crash-esque type of environment, and there's a lot of fear, volatility indexes up, etc. You have to be able to fall back on the immersive gameplay experiences, right? You have to give people something to look forward to. And that's why the combination and the intersection of high quality game experiences with cutting edge blockchain tech is so critical, because you have to be able to go back and forth between competencies at any given time because your community demands it. And if you're going to scale to something, I don't think we have a solution in place yet where we have a project that has figured out the optimal combination of blockchain plus video game play to earn experiences. A lot of that is because it's such a difficult line to walk with, tokenomics, sustainability, et cetera, with play to earn games.
No one did it yet, right? I mean, it's
right.
not like it's not like, okay, we had Dota 2, and of course Dota 2 looked forward, so the right games came and make League of Legends off a successful blueprint. Of course, they put their input in it. But right now, we are kind of the whole industry kind of pioneering this era, like blockchain gaming. How can we solve it? So that's also, I think it's super exciting. Like for me as well, like so exciting to be part of it and be the one who actually experienced the creation of such market actually.
Yeah, and it's this really interesting, combination of intrinsic, so the focus of like internal locus of control of your specific project, but also external focus of control, being you also need to focus on the nature, the nurture of relationships and networking for the overall good of blockchain gaming, right? Because you can't, on an individual level, your project can't get to where it wants to be if the overall market of the industry itself, being blockchain gaming, doesn't advance to some degree as well. So it's this really unique combination of, is it competition or is it collaboration? And you have to figure out that fine balance between the two, right? And
it's tough. I think right now it's more collaboration because I think it's nice to have the whole cake. But if the cake is so small, why do you have it, right? So I think that's why, I mean, we're also talking like technically we are in the same industry, right? It's in the same industry, but it's not about that, because it's like a really we kind of try to build this decentralized world, right?
Yep.
And I think there's space for everybody, and rather than doing competition and like, hey, no, I don't want to do anything with you because you have
Yep.
something similar like me, rather than just collaborate and just be able to offer the players something better just because of the collaboration, because that's also how you can fight or go after the bigger players, right? Because right now it's also a fight for how can you convince a regular gamer to play your game and not play Guns and Glory, because why should he, right? And that's how I think a certain collaborative effort from all industry is needed in that sense.
100%. And we were talking a little bit about it just before the live stream started. Actually, I always enjoy having some conversation before these live streams get started, because it offers us to kind of dissect some mindsets before we bring it out to the public. But one thing we agreed a lot on is transparency and trust, right? So in tech, it's so easy to stay reclusive to your own environments, inward facing, internal, and focus on development, etc. But you need to have an outward facing presence, because trust, transparency is so critical. And actually shout out to Snowman on this one, because he kind of browsed over it a little bit there. That's part of the reason why we're here today, not only to focus on collaboration, but because you guys care about having a public image out there. You guys are doing a lot of things great. Now they want to see the founder's face stamped onto those great things, and that's exactly why we're here. So we're obviously, taking this opportunity as just a pathway to be able to connect with communities, and that's the beautiful thing about live streams. Actually, I wish. Even though it's a competency to ChainGuardians, ChainBoost, not a lot of other launchpads are doing it. I wish other launchpads did do it, because it speaks volumes to people want to contribute to projects, but they want to see the faces behind the promise, right? There's so much promise. There's not so much bridging to reality, and that's kind of the dichotomy that we have to deal with as an industry today, right? Is the dichotomy between promise and reality, and that's so huge. I know you've seen it, right?
Yeah, totally. Like the transparency of is I think is going to be more and more critical because the user are also getting more and more knowledgeable around everything, right? And as you just said, why do you help or contribute to a project if you don't even know who's behind it?
Bingo.
Right? So it's totally okay, totally cool to do such thing. I think it's also it's just also fun. Like, I mean, it's be having fun, right? So that's also
speak for yourself. No, I'm just joking, dude.
And I think it's also just fair for the people who contribute. Like as I said, like I'm super thankful for the community back then. I mean, why should the community just like support a one-man guy who tries to achieve such big thing, right? And I would never be able to be in this live stream, for example. I mean, Forest Knight is a small fry in the whole industry, right? But still, to becoming this fry was that's a very nice anecdote.
Making me salivate a little bit.
It was necessary for the support of the community, from Yorek, who just offered his community management work for me, or Nick, who helped me with the development. Nick has his own game, for example, or Michel helping me with some legal stuff, because he also lives in Germany. This is not something which is mandatory. So I'm really thankful about that, and I think we should not forget that where we come from, in my opinion.
Well, and you're so humble too, man. It's like the what happens behind closed doors people don't see, but it's a testament to be able to see you and have this conversation, and then be able to tell the community, hey, this dude's like equally humble behind closed doors as he is front facing via this conversation we're having too. There's a lot to be said about character, because it's less about the promise and more about the people, the personalities to make that promise come to fruition. I say it all the time, so I'm like a broken record at this point, but it's so critical. Like I think that's super important for communities to conceptualize. So with that said, give us a brief just rundown. What is Forest Knight, man? We spent 20 minutes talking about the foundation of personalities and who you are, which is so, honestly, like I said, it's like the number one thing. But what is Forest Knight? Let's get into the meat and potatoes, or as you would say, let's get into the small fries. You might owe me some Burger King or something after this, man. Get some Uber Eats loaded up.
All right, I think it's time to talk about Forest Knight for sure. So Forest Knight, Shirley said, Forest Knight is a turn-based strategy game powered by blockchain. So it's a turn-based mobile game. It's inspired by chess, and from the game Heroes, Might and Magic. So basically, you build a team of 3, and each hero has his unique ability and his unique pattern of movement. So there's a cell. The field is divided by cells, and just like chess, you have your turn, and you're going to be able to move your heroes accordingly. The cool thing is now the strategy part. So basically, each hero is having a skill which interacts with the field in a different way. So a hero has a skill which hits in diagonal way. One hero has like a shuriken skill which does like more like a L side. So now the art is going to be for the players to know how to position themselves, when to attack, when to activate the skill, and how to not be trapped to a certain position that you get hit the most effectively. So that's like the core essence of the gameplay of Forest Night. It's strategic part of Forest Night in the short form.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think there's a lot to be said about you guys obviously being mobile optimized, incorporating blockchain elements. There's a lot to be said about that because there are a lot of like legal intricacies there. People don't recognize how difficult it is to be mobile optimized and incorporate these blockchain elements. And obviously you guys have taken that battle head on, focusing within the strategy purview. And there's a lot that goes into the strategy, mobile-based optimized platforms. So it's kind of cool to hear all the different things that you can do, with the strategy-based things in general. But I think
that's a good point actually, but I want to touch on that because
go for it.
I think some people really underestimate the fight with the bigger app store players, like App Play Store and App Store. Like the most I think asked question for us is when iPhone, right? When iPhone, to what? When iPhone ?
Yeah.
And it's very hard. I mean, I can understand the players, like they want to play on their iPhone. Like I too. Like newly, I have an iPhone. Even I'm Android person now. I have iPhone because we're starting we're starting doing the iPhone version. So, but it's tough because you need to be aligned with these big players' guidance. Like for example, I think it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, all the browser or the wallets on iOS had to remove their DApp browser like this. Like after. Because they change a sentence in their guidelines, and you need to play with the game. So it's very hard also for we don't have a huge legal team, just like let's say Riot Games have, right? Or something like that. So you need to be very careful because you don't want to do something wrong that makes you pay later on. So that's why sometimes it's better to be more cautious and focus on the stuff you can control, rather than push some stuff because it kind of get you some marketing buzz. Like of course, iOS release Forest Night is going to be a good event, right? But does it make sense to push this while you're not sure really if you're on the right side of the law, if that makes sense?
Dude, 100%. Like that's it. Like I know you and same with us want to push through all these amazing initiatives, but like blockchain, like the thing that we have to shield people from are these legal liabilities, right? Because our goal isn't to be here, through the next marketing buzz. Our goal isn't to ride the next bull run. The goal is to be here long term for users. And I'm speaking within the purview of ChainGuardians and now obviously Forest Night. And you can agree or disagree with me, but it's every single day, especially the deeper you get into the implementation of some of this stuff, like when iPhone, the fine print, the legal framework, the legal guidance, the implementation, the coding for compliance. Like there's so much that goes into it, and it's critical because you want these deliverables, you want these to be available. But people also have to recognize to temper expectations, because you don't want to push something forward and then have to have your project shut down because you walked a little too far over that gray line. You want to try to keep these lines black and white. I don't mean to speak for you here, but I'm sure you parallel the sentiment, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's also I have to say it's definitely not the job of the users to understand these stuff. I mean, of course, it's stuff, it's technical stuff. Why should they care about the law stuff? They just want to have fun, and that's also the goal of every game studio to be. How can we make the users to just have their fun, right? But it's also the responsibility of the team or the founder to balance the this is the people want the iOS, but the danger of getting shut down is so high that at the end you're gonna hurt all the users if the game is shut down, right? So it's really a balance, or the job of the leader of the company or founder of the company to really balance the sides of, okay, iOS event, or let's relax and get another opinion, a legal opinion, before we push it through. Like,
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
important.
you saw that with Coinbase, right? I mean, I think it was today or yesterday. Like,
Don't remind people, man. Don't remind people. No, it's good to talk.
Crazy,
It is good to talk about, though. Honestly, it really is.
No, but I mean, I don't want to go too deeply in it, but it just shows that. I mean, I don't want to throw any, like, nobody's whose fault it is or who's not, but the industry is so new that nobody knows really, right? So everything rather moves slowly than fast, but also the entities who are participating in this industry, like the companies, the government, the exchanges, they also don't really know what is right and what is not. And if something happens, like, I mean, Coinbase is a public company, right? So it's we're talking about a different caliber of a company, right? And if they are having these issues, I think startups like us should definitely have more, like, be more careful and try to. It's about ownership, right? Like, you're the founder of the company. Take ownership and make sure that the company is legally doing the right thing, because your players are contributing to the project. So you need to make sure that your players are not disappointed just because you wanted an event, is iOS event, and then the iOS event 2 days, and then you get banned by App Store. And if you once are banned by App Store, you are banned by App Store. It's very hard to get back. So I think it's our job to maintain this. To be honest, it's a tough job, right? I mean, look at the CEO, right? He's doing his best, but I think it's good for a comparison. Like, hey, this thing is all even hitting the big players. If that makes sense.
100%, dude. 100%, and you're in alignment. You know, it's smart because you take ownership of it. Even though it's a tough task to take, it's our job to ultimately be able to protect users and make it really simple for people to play games, have fun, and make money doing so. Right? Just going to give a couple quick shout outs here to some people in chat. Chris, always great seeing you. Maraka, I know, Wen Ducks, am I right? So we're sporting some merch here. Legit Cryptoverse, good to see you. Kind of Dan, always good having you as well. So let's move a little bit into kind of, you know, what separates Forest Night, man? Like, why are people excited about Forest Night over other like play to earn games?
That's a good question. So I think our USPs, or what we really try to do differently, is the company is really a gaming focused company. So the team are gamers. The philosophy or the vision is to create a gaming product first. Like, let's put the blockchain side away. So the idea is always, hey, we are adding this feature. Does it, if it was not a blockchain feature, is it still fun or not? And if yes, we can have it as a feature. That's like our internal guide, like for adding a new feature or deciding what way to go. So we are really focusing on the gaming part, and we really want the players to start being able to start just having fun at the first place. So that's like, I think that's what we are trying to do. Also, it's going to be, or you guys can see it if you download the game, in the onboarding experience. So players just download the game, use the Google account or guest account, just like other mobile games. So you don't really know it's a blockchain game, and you just start playing. And that's also the idea, like, you're just having fun. Probably your first encounter is going to be with an NFT item around level 11 with the first boss, and then we see it as our responsibility, our responsibility to give enough incentive for a Web2 player, for example, or any player who is enjoying the game, to get onboarded on the Web3 side. That's like the idea of how we see it in that moment. Of course, the philosophy is to make sure, like the vision. Let's say, hey, Ben, let's say 5 years now, Forest Night, 5 years. The vision is that Kate from Oklahoma City downloads the game, and she doesn't know it's a blockchain game, but she is interacting with the blockchain features at that moment. that's the vision. I think that's the easiest way to say that's the vision of our, at least Forest Night, and I can assume it's also on the ChainGuardians side. So that's I think we really try to push, and that's something I think we do differently maybe with other projects. And I have to say we are lucky, or we're very fortunate, or I'm very fortunate also to have a great team, like really passionate gamers, really putting a lot of effort. Like really shout out to my team, to Svetlana, to Abdullah. I mean, Abdullah started like as an intern, and now he's with us. Donat, he did very good articles. Noor, like my partner in crime, he's doing a lot of stuff. So we are unfortunately have a great team, but also great partners. Like we are not allowed to sneak peek. We have a great partners coming up. We are not allowed to say who are they, like probably next week.
Welcome to NDA land, yeah.
Yeah, when you hear who are like our partners, I think we are very fortunate to be able to work with these people. So that would say that's why I'm super excited for this project.
Dude, so there's really two things that I want to deconstruct there. The first one being NFTs, right? So NFTs are amazing. Absolutely incredible. There's a lot of use case utility to be added to them, but there's so many people out here that are trying to push NFTs in situations not applicable that don't add value to consumers. And then you end up saturating the market, and it's just like, well, okay, so why are we incorporating blockchain elements to this specific section of the game if it just saturates the market, doesn't add a whole lot of value, and there's limited utility. So it's good to hear that you guys are selective with how you're incorporating blockchain elements, because, you know, a lot of people, you know, projects focus on rapid sale of NFTs or implementation where it doesn't fit to try to increase, you know, revenue models and stuff. It's good to hear that you guys are taking that into consideration, because you're focused on the health of the ecosystem and ensuring that user experience is number one priority. And then the second thing is I want to make sure your team heard that, because that's so important. I say it frequently. I will never talk about myself. I will never very rarely will I ever give myself credit. It's always a team that you built around you, right? So I know there's a handful of people in our CM team currently in chat here, and that's just it, is like, it's amazing to hear you parallel. It's amazing to hear you shout out your team like that, because really a project is only as good as the people consistently day in and day out working to connect the vision with the reality. And it's just incredible that you guys have that ecosystem, that culture built in place, just like we do. So huge shout out to both your team, and then of course, you know, gotta guiltily slide it in there, the huge shout out to our team as well, if people are watching, because without the team it wouldn't be anything. I know you mirror that sentiment. So
yeah, definitely, I agree with you. Like it starts with the team and it ends with the team. I mean it's super important to not forget that. I mean, you're seeing my face right now, and people are seeing Ben's face, but behind these faces are actually the team who are working really hard and helping so much. So definitely really appreciate that.
Yeah, and actually, you know, you and I are hardly working. We're just hanging out, and then I got to figure out a way to convince you to get Burger King to my house after this. So, so you know, a lot of people are working hard, and we're just having a conversation, getting to enjoy each other and talk about the amazing things that you guys are doing. That brings me to my next point. Obviously, the focus here is going to be Night, obviously, as we get closer to IDO, the purchasing, or, you know, the contributing and supporting of Night. Talk about what Night as a token offers and how it improves user experiences, escalates gameplay, etc. Why should people be interested in this token? Right, is simplistically what I'm getting at here.
Yeah, that's a very good question, actually. So yeah, we are super excited for the Night IDO. We're happy to have ChainBoost as a partner. That's super cool. ChainBoost Moonedge, like this dope combination, and Night token is going to be like the essential token for the first Night world. So we are basically we are going to tie all key transactions around in the game, which is going to be the merge mechanic coming out. Is going to be land deployment, lands. For example, we're going to have to like buildings. It's going to be fun. So we're going to have buildings where you can deploy on your lands or kingdoms, and depending on what building you deploy, you're going to be able to benefit, some rewards. Is it, for example, more power in the guild wars, more currency in the mine, or more, for example, that's it, more power in the guild war, more currency in the mine, or better merging results. So and all these key transactions in the game is going to be backed by the Night token. So you need to use the Night token to do the merging, to get the items from our marketplace, to get the skins you need. You need to deploy buildings on your land, and really, we are trying to really mix it with the gameplay itself. So essential gameplay activities, essential gameplay decisions are going to be always backed or always tied with the Night token. And I think that's what we are really looking forward to, give the Night token the utility it deserves, and a utility that makes sense in the gaming aspect of it, and not just because it's a cool utility to have, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it sounds like it acts as a secondary resource then within your ecosystem to really power the different involvements of playing the game, right? So if you were to make a parallel to maybe another, whether it be like League of Legends, World of Warcraft, RuneScape, can you kind of classify it as a resource within any of those respective roles to act as an analogy for people to conceptualize, or is it just so different that would be a difficult task for you?
No, that's a good question, actually. That's a very good question. I would say in a League of Legends words, it would be the shards. So, for example, like one use case in League of Legends is you have the shards, and you can use the shards to open some chests or
save up
with the skin you want, right?
Yep.
Do they still have that? I think
they do. I mean, I'm never good enough to actually get 10 for a nice little skin, but they definitely do. And I like to, gamble with the chests and so have you. But
it's also more fun to see. Okay.
Absolutely.
But it would be like that. So the shards of the so you need the Night tokens. I mean, we are also going to have like a extensive lore around the Night token and why it's used in the Forest Night world, and it's going to be the tool to be used for these key activities. And it was a good question. So it would be around maybe League of Legends shard system, but also other games. It's hard to say exactly, because there's also going to be some nice interaction with the community. So for example, we want to use it as a voting mechanism as well in the future. I think I'm also super excited around that. So imagine League of Legends. Let's say League of Legends again. I think everybody knows that League of Legends have a lot of heroes, and imagine you can vote on what the next skin is going to be for which hero. I think that's super exciting stuff to see with such voting mechanism, and we are definitely looking forward to incorporate that to get the community really really involved in the decisions we are going to make. Of course, there are always some game design decisions we're going to be.
Yep. You have to, unfortunately.
A complete decentralized gaming project is very hard to execute. I would say also, especially when it's competitive game. In my knowledge at this state, it's impossible, because the balancing part and the game design part is so crucial that it's very hard to manage that with like a decentralized system. So you need to have your people do the game design, do the balancing, so they play the game still is fun. But for example, decision, what's the next event? Do we want an arena event or do you want a PvE event? Players vote, hey, we want an arena event because we love arena. Okay guys, we do it. The next event is going to be arena event. So these are like the key decisions of still having the community be involved so much in the future of the game. And I think super excited. Like, if I think about it, if I would be able to vote on what the next skin is going to be, it's super, super cool.
Yeah. So it sounds like Night really does two things for you. It kind of unlocks, and I'll let you confirm this. Does Night, in essence, rather, either indirectly or directly, elevate the ceiling of how much you can earn in the game? Does it elevate the play to earn aspect of it?
In certain extent, but we are really looking forward for more skill-based reward system. So
That's smart.
we really want. That was also the first time we saw that is we saw some arena battles, and we saw how a player who had very like less strong equipment winning against a player who was kind of maxed out because he used his strategy, because the other person didn't know exactly what to do. So we have like these obstacles, and the good strategy would be to play around these obstacles or use the obstacle to gain mana first, so you're ready to unleash your abilities on them. So the strategy is really important. So that's why we're really looking more forward to be having a more skill-based, and let's say on the higher ceiling, and the skill-based reward system. So the arena is going to be very important. Arena ranking, seasonal rewards, arena seasons. But of course, the holding a night token or having a night token is going to allow you to reach that certain path. Like it's
Gotcha.
It's like, let's go to the journey, and I go alone. I have a companion, if that makes sense. So and the companion is the night token in that sense.
That's awesome to hear, man. Hey, we're getting an influx of really good questions from the community. Just a reminder, we are going to do community questions at the end, so you guys might want to save a couple of these. I'm going to rapid fire some questions, just meant for some quick responses, so we do have time at the end. Let's see here. The Mokavi asked a really good question. How big is your team currently? And there's a second part to the question, but that might be better answered during the community section here.
Okay, sure. So we're currently 5 people. We're hiring 2 more people, 2 more developers, and we're looking for like full time, and we have 3 more people working as freelancers for us.
Perfect. And then Danius asks, when will we have the Underworld extension?
I didn't understand the question.
Yeah, let me backtrack. When will we have Underworld extension? I believe, and the levels be much harder in the future. A long time to get orbs. Sometimes it takes a few seconds to complete. The
Underworld, yeah. So we're planning to have release for Underworld levels. So their level are kind of like tied to more game design, more level design. So we're going to increase the Underworld levels in the future updates. We started with 10 just because we want to get your feedback to see how players use it. I mean, you use a lot of analytics in the game to understand, okay, what are they doing? Does it make sense? Is it too hard? Is it too easy?
Right.
And then we are planning to add more and more levels after we have this pilot project with the Underworld.
Perfect. Yeah, and I just want to loop back at it. I really like the concept, just to keep it very brief here. I really like the concept of skill-based play to earn. Unfortunately, for some people in chat, I know Exclude and Marake are both, I think, stuck in Iron or something, like Iron 3 or something. So you guys matter. You still matter. Don't worry. It's okay if you're hard stuck. All right, so we'll move forward here. I'm just gonna ask you maybe 2 questions here. I know we have a few more, but we've gone on a couple tangent. What's one of the steepest obstacles in solving the sustainability for play to earn models? That's obviously a very difficult kind of question to answer, as it's the jury's still out to be told about the longevity of these play to earn games. So maybe just briefly touch on what the solution is, at least from Forest Knight's perspective on how to solve that.
Yeah, that's a very strong question for sure. Yeah, the longevity of a project is very critical based on how the economy designs. So the economy design itself is going to be a huge part. So of course, for all RPG games and MMO games, back let's say World of Warcraft, everything, the economy design is such an important aspect, especially when you update the game and putting more content in it. There's the chance of power creep. For people who don't know what power creep is, it's like when you update the game and the new resource or new content in the game are just much stronger than the before ones. So that's like the problem with these kind of games. And I think one of the ways to solve the sustainability of a NFT project, I would say, in a play to earn project, is to give the NFTs more utilities than than it is right now. So how First 9 economy is designed is we're planning to have all our items to be a resource at the same time. So so basically right now, of course, through the blockchain technology or the NFT technology, you can have the NFT, and if you don't want it, you can put it on the sale. That's it. That's of course great, but it's not enough utility for us. So let's say I'm level 1, I get a level 1 sword, I use this level 1 sword. The utility of this level 1 sword is in this moment to go through the levels and get stronger. Now I'm level 5, the level 1 sword doesn't have really utility, I could sell it, right? But in the maybe look at it. Maybe I look at it. Maybe a bit of Axie's case right now. It's very hard to very shortly said. When the economy is growing, you always need influx into the economy. And if the economy crashes, and if there's not enough influx here, the whole thing is going to crash. It's like less like a, but that's like a short term. I don't want to go too deep in that.
I hear you.
Could be understood a bit wrong. But now you have a level 5, your level 5 and your level 1 item. It's not only for selling. You can use it to merge your other NFT to get it stronger. So basically, when we look at the marketplace or we look at the catalog of items, and I'm someone, doesn't matter who I am, in what stage of the game I am, the NFT I see has one utility of it. It can be for playing, but it also can be the resource. So basically, it's going to also mirror to the marketplace, because every user of the marketplace, whatever he sees, he has a utility for that. So I think that's going to be very important for sustainability of a project, that you really have enough incentives to use those assets. And that's why what Ben said very well, it's not a good reason to have everything on NFT side or on the blockchain side if there is no actual reason to make it a blockchain asset, right? And I think that's going to be a key thing. But of course, a lot of different macroeconomic stuff like deflationary stuff, burning the supply. That's more the economy people are going to do that. So that's also very important. What a project. So my tip for any gaming project out there: make sure you have somebody, or make sure you are the one who understands the economy of the game. Keep track of the economy. So use tools like Games Analytics have the good tools, or all your analytics tools to keep track of, okay, what are the supplies right now? What is going on? Is somewhere too much, somewhere too low? So you keep the track of economy of the game and make decisions upon that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's critical. You guys have clearly put a lot of insightful time into thinking about the scalability, and that's really important. You have to, as you announce, blockchain games, play to earn games. I want to do something fun though for the community that's tuning in today, because it's hard to want to watch something crypto blockchain related when the market is where it is. So Bayfar, I didn't loop you in with this, but I'm going to throw it in because I think that we have an incredibly passionate group of people watching right now, and it's important to reward those people. So besides the community questions that we're going to do, I want you to think, without saying out loud, did you have a specific character that you mained in League of Legends?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not allowed to say it, right?
No, don't say it. We're going to do it like this. The first person to guess this character gets whitelisted for Forest Night IDO.
That's it.
Okay. So
nice thing to do.
Yep. We're gonna do it like that, because I think that we have a lot of really amazing people watching, and we want to give them that opportunity because they've watched the whole live stream up to this point, right? And they're probably tired of hearing me complain or try to egg you on for some freaking Burger King after the stream, so they deserve it. They put up with me. So give them a hint. What role is this character? What primary role is this character between top, mid, AD carry, and jungle? And then the first person to guess will get whitelisted.
Okay, so the primary role is looking like is in the mid lane. Your primary role is the mid lane. But a hint would be I played him.
Him. Oh,
Oh fuck. Yeah. Oh sorry. It's yeah, but it's a good tip. So it's we said it. It's he him and top. You can play it also top and I don't say it anymore. Top and mid is the main ones.
All right, buddy. Go ahead and if you have Telegram open, can you go ahead and message me that character? That way I can scroll through the chat for you.
Do you have do you think you know already or?
I think I know. I believe it was already guessed, but I think I know. Because someone said you look like a Yasuo player. I think that would be my guess too. Are you a Yasuo main?
So this is a public apology to all League of Legends players. I am so sorry, but yes, I am a Yasuo. I understand. I know. I hate Yasuo. I hate Yasuo players. They are the worst. I don't look you guys. Like, do not see the project as is leading by Yasuo player. That was my past me. I changed. I'm a different person now.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
That's incredible. So when you talked about all these life lessons that you got, it's because you're a freaking Yasuo player, man. Oh gosh. Let's see here. Let's look for the first Yasuo guess here. LeBlanc, Ash. Let's see here. Looks like Travis Scott's there. So we'll do this. Yeah, right. Travis Scott. Please provide your Twitter handle. Perfect. And then that's great. Gosh, dude, you're killing me. I don't know if we can continue this conversation anymore.
Look what you did.
Yeah, I know.
I should have lied. Actually.
Oh gosh.
My PR guy is gonna call me like, "Hey, why did you say Yasuo?" No.
Yeah. Crisis management. Yeah. You're front facing. The front-facing persona for Forest Knight is now Yasuo. Good luck with branding experiences. You guys have officially hit crisis management mode now.
Yeah, totally. Like investors telling me, like, hey, Biff, we need to reschedule the talks because we heard you're a Yasuo player.
Yeah.
Red News is listening. Thanks for a great game. This was still fun. When I was playing Yasuo, super fun. When I was playing against Yasuo, I hate those people.
That's funny.
Totally.
All right, opening it up to community questions. We're going to rapid fire these because we only got 10 minutes left. Get your community questions in there. Everyone go ahead and drop them right now. This segment starting $100 sponsored USDT by Forest Knight. Obviously, appreciate you guys sponsoring it. Making sure we give stuff to the community is really important. So we'll make sure that we'll pick some good questions. We'll get rewards sent out, and we'll go from there. While we wait, man, I gotta ask, were you more of like a strategic Forest Knight-esque Yasuo player, or were you one of those like 5 and 11 split pushing by yourself while your team's doing Baron type of Yasuo players? Because you know you can relate to it.
Yeah, I can relate. The thing is, I probably need to call my lawyer and the PR manager before I answer this question.
Plead the fifth.
But actually, maybe people not believe me. I was Two-Face. You know Two-Face from Batman? Mm-hmm. So sometimes I was the split push, muted everybody, Yasuo player. Sometimes also the mid-lane player who tried to combine his attacks with Malphite and stuff. So I tried both.
Okay, I love it. Hey, sometimes you got to do both, man. I mean, I've been in those games too where your team's making the bad call and you got to split push to take to alleviate the pressure, dude. I mean, if they make it to the Nexus and you're still on the inhibitor turrets, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. We need to do a Tryndamere cosplay and just.
Fun fact for everyone listening: I actually cosplayed as Pool Party Graves one year during PAX Prime. I think that must have been 6 years ago now. When yeah, dude, yeah, I don't know. It's obviously I was shirtless for that picture, so I'm not gonna pull it up, but It was a fun experience. And my gun was actually made out of pure wood, so I was lugging around like 40 pounds over my freaking shoulder the whole time. And man, it was it was definitely something. But it was a fun experience. Yeah, it was, dude. I mean, I got to keep my little pump because I had my shirt off. So. All right, so first video comes. Yeah, we're gonna go really quick through these, man. So the first question here from 6vids is: do they plan on adding lending NFTs to help player progress, like in Splinterlands?
Yeah, so we are definitely looking into this feature. Yeah, we are looking into it. We want to make it a bit more unique, that lending NFT really also impact the gameplay of the site. So this is definitely on our list. It's a good question.
Perfect. Okay. And then Crypto King asked 2 questions. I'm going to combine them into one question. I'll start with the one that maybe is a little easier to answer. Will Night token be able to be earned in the game, or what's the? I guess this kind of leads into tangent. What's the main play to earn aspect?
The main play to earn aspect is going to be first of all the arena. So the one way to earn Night token is going to be the arena rewards, so leaderboards, everything. So it's going to be more skill based, and the play to earn is going to be also the NFT part. So basically, when you have your NFTs, you merge them together. It's going to be we're going to use Chainlink's VRF. So it's going to be randomized what attribute the upgraded item is going to be. So it is going to be very interesting because let's say, hey, I have a team of archer, assassin, and paladin, and my combination really needs a archery weapon which has lifesteal in it. But there's no lifesteal archer bow in like to buy. It's really needed to be created. So the one who really understands, hey, the archer bow is super meta right now. I'm trying to create those. It's going to be very interesting aspect of the game. So I think the NFTs and how you interact with them is going to be a big part of the play to earn experience.
Love it. That's a good. I appreciate the answer there. Second question being, are Forest Night NFTs going to be usable in Chain Guardians? I think that's a conversation we can certainly have offline and discuss the possibility of. So Demo Jolf asks an interesting question, because merging and fusion is pretty intriguing, at least I think, in blockchain gaming. If I think the scope of this question is, will you have NFT merging available for like an evolution type of NFT experience where you merge X amount of NFTs to create like a super NFT? And if so, is there a degree of rarity that would be incorporated into this type of fusion or merging process?
If I did understand the question right, if the question is, why is it going to be relevant to have the rarity, like the. So let me go through it. So basically, or can you repeat the question? I'm
I'm gonna kind of try to unpack it for him, I guess, here, or her. I think the question is, will you be able to, say, take 2 NFTs or 2 characters in your game, fuse them, and merge them to create like another one of higher rarity? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely going to be. It's definitely the plan, like to, because so you merge the items and the prestige of the item is going up. So it's automatically a more unique item, and there's going to also like chances like to hit the merge mechanic hits critical, so you kind of create a very special item which is very unique. So it's definitely going to be the case, if that's the question.
That is perfect. I'm going to go back to a little earlier in chat, because I know Danius did ask a bunch of really good questions earlier, maybe just ill-timed. Asks, do you have any plans, or basically do you have any plans for rare cosmetic drops that don't necessarily affect gameplay but are super rare and fancy, something that you can spend a lot of time grinding towards?
100%. So we are very bullish on cosmetics. It is proven that it works. Looking at League of Legends, looking at Valorant, for example, Valorant just dropped. I play Valorant also myself sometimes. Valorant just dropped a pack, with a collaborative pack with Zed, the musician, and these items, these skins are completely cosmetic, so they don't you don't get better with it. It's just cosmetic. It's a competitive game, so we're definitely looking forward to having those items. We already have skins for our characters, and we're looking for explore the cosmetic part much more, and also in a more unique and very rare type of stuff. I think, for example, Blancos, the game did something cool with Burberry, right? And that's something interesting why they did it. And I think when talking about cosmetics, it has to make sense, but also more like a supreme type of drops, which is unique and really rewards the really loyal players and who really likes, for example, one character or another character. So definitely we're gonna have cosmetic stuff which doesn't affect the gameplay.
I love it. Yeah, pet concepts of, you know, companionship or even if they don't do much, or just, you know, cosmetic types of things that incentivize people to play, I think adds a lot, right, man? You nail it on the head. So that's exciting to hear that that's in the works. The last question comes from Exclude, who kind of parallels the question about, you know, incorporation of of NFT integration on ChainGuardians platform. But there's a second part of it, and I feel like it would be remiss of me not to bring it up and at least try to pull your leg for it. Do you have any fun plans after IDO? Is there anything big? Can you share any alpha? If not, obviously respect the measures of NDA. However, I have to obviously poke the bear a little bit here, right?
Sure. We don't want to spoil too much, but we definitely have, of course, another map coming up in the adventure mode, and as well as we have we have a new expansion coming up. It's going to be very, very interesting. We're working on it for a longer time, for a month right now. It's going to be it has a unique feel, unique thematic of it. Yeah, this is going to be the first big event of after the IDO. Been planning it. It's going to be fun.
Awesome. Looking forward to it, man. Where can people find you? Obviously, we're gonna be very active as we bolster up marketing efforts through ChainBoost, get some cross promotion to ChainGuardians. But where can people find you and keep up to date with everything in the world of Forest Night?
Yeah, so I think the best way to keep updated on Forest Night is, of course, our Telegram. But we're happy to have you guys also on our Discord channel, because we really love Discord. Discord is our guy. So Discord, and of course Twitter. I think to not leave anything behind, it's, I think, Twitter, Discord, and our Medium blog. We are very active on there, actually. And yeah, I think those are, to not say too many social media, I think those are the main ones.
Perfect. And I guess to centralize the processes of informational dissemination, all these different mediums and channels can be found on forestnight.io. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. We are doing our redesigning our website, so it's going to be live very soon. I think you're gonna love it, but you're definitely gonna find those on the website, the current website.
Love it, dude. Well, I'm gonna roll out here shortly. Do you want to have any last minute, you know, outros to the community? Say anything before we cut the live stream off here?
Yeah, sure. So thanks a lot for having me here, Ben. I really appreciate it. It was a super fun talk. Thanks for all the community that we are building. Thanks for the support, and we are super excited to show what we are actually building in the back end, or in behind the scenes as well.
Love it, man. As always, you know, it's been a great pleasure having you here today. You guys are doing a lot of things right. A lot of props to focusing on building, even with the market as red as it is. You covered a lot of points. Talked about your team, which I have a lot of respect for people that you know, give props to their team more so than self-praise. So a lot of props there. We have a really cool giveaway going for Forest Night right now. So for anyone interested in whitelisting for the Forest Night IDO, head over to ChainBoost on Twitter. Scroll down until you find the giveaway event. Just tag some friends, retweet, like, all the good stuff. As always, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can stay up to date with more live streams coming through ChainBoost and other good stuff. Find Forest Night on forestnight.io. As always, thanks for tuning in, and have a wonderful day. Befar, any last comments? Perfect.
No, thanks a lot, Ben. You're very good at this. You should be a Twitch streamer.
I don't know about that. All right, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye-bye, guys.
づける
憎しみや恨みを生んでしまうのかもしれない正解のない世界に苦しんでそれでも受け止め我らは叫ばなければいけないんだ心がうついて思い描いた自由への勝利僕のエゴであろう君の願いであろうそれがなめることまでと悔いなくなれることもいつの日かできな信じたのは一輪の花
触れてくれてその時に
あがいてもがいてまみれ迷いながらも永遠の中にわずか輝くそれをその手に掴み取り勝ち取るためには
また立ち上がる
思い描いた自由への勝利的な僕の血肉となり君の魂となりそれをなめることはあれと悔いなくなれることもいつの日か的な熱いさ探せが大輪の花永遠の中で掴んだ未来を注がれた光の雨瞳に映ったこの世界を回るため立ち向かうそれは心も安全が出せたネオンライトが市街の隅でまた霞み始めてる決意揺らぎそうでも閉ざされた空その鍵を壊せばそう握られた刃はまだ持て余されて加速する共鳴が言霊を脈打たせてくあがと注がれた光の雨瞳に映ったこの世界を
続けろ
憎しみや恨みを生んでしまうのかもしれない正解のない世界に苦しんでそれでも受け止め我らは叫ばなければいけないと心がうついて思い描いた自由への勝利僕のエゴであろう君の願いであろうそれがダメな部分あれと悔いなくなれることもいつの日かできな信じたのは一輪の花
触れてくれてその時に
あがいてもがいてまみれのよいだけども恋の中にわずか輝くそれをその手に掴み取り勝ち取るためには
また立ち上がる
思い描いた自由への勝利的な僕の血肉となり君の魂となりそれを固めることあれと悔いなくなれることもいつの日か的な熱さ探せや大輪の花手入れの中で掴んだ未来を注がれた光の雨瞳に映ったこの世界を守るため立ち向かうそれは心もやせがやせネオンライトが市街の隅でまた霞み始めてる決意揺らぎそうでも閉ざされた空その影